I'm Deep Mahaman and you're watching the Redmen TV.
I want to move on from Thailand because we've actually got a pretty big game to talk about this week. Steven Gerrard's testimonial. It's Liverpool playing Olympiacos. If you're watching on, if you joined us, I should say, on YouTube, welcome. Hiya. If you're still watching on the subscriber show, you know what we've been talking about. It's
the gayest wave great ever there.
That was it was enticing. I thought, like, you know, enticing and creepy. Let us know in the comments below if you could use one word to describe Chris's introductory wave. Do you want to just give us one more example of what it looked like? Do you want to do it to me? Do it to... yeah, comment below, please, what you think. One word to describe Chris's wave. Anyway, Steven Gerrard.
Nothing that begins with a C and ends in unt, please. Steven
Gerrard's testimonial. Playing Olympiacos on Saturday. It's a 12:45 kick-off. Interesting. Look, well, let's wax lyrical about the man himself for a start, Chris. The fact that I mean, obviously we've come to the end of the last season and we've been singing Jamie Carragher's praise as the ultimate one club man. Steven Gerrard, though, and with no disrespect to Jamie Carragher, is on another plane. You know what I mean? Because while Jamie Carragher was a great player for Liverpool, you can't deny that Steven Gerrard has been one of the greatest players ever to play the game, and he's done it at one club as well, and does. Moreover.
Superb. Brilliant. The fact of the matter for me is that when he hangs up his boots, I think that he's going to be the greatest Liverpool player of all time. Yeah. And it's going to be debated between him and Kenny Dalglish for probably as long as I live. But when you consider the team that Steven Gerrard's been in and carried, I don't think Kenny Dalglish could have done that. And I think, you know, he deserves every ball that he gets. Even on the Far East tour, you can see every time he picks up the ball, the cheers, everything that that man gets, he deserves. There was obviously a little bit of a wavering and a little bit of his skirt up at Chelsea a few years back, but he kept his knickers around him and he stayed with us, and at the end of the day, Chelsea have gone on to win a lot of things since then and we've not won that much. So fair play to him. The guy's a legend.
Dad, obviously, slightly coming at it from a slightly different generation. Obviously, as Chris mentioned, the obvious case is Kenny Dalglish. But do you think, you know,
well, I had an argument a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, with someone of your generation who said Steven Gerrard was the greatest player ever at Liverpool, and I argued there wasn't any way that he could even lace Kenny's boots to because he was such a genius. I mean, the fact is that if you talk about Steven Gerrard when he gets to the end of his career, which is probably hopefully only still a couple of years away, it will be very difficult to find, you know, any argument against how brilliant he's been. Yeah. You know, he's been a truly world-class player for us since he walked into the side, practically, and he's kept that standard up throughout and got better and better. And now he sort of strolls around like truly world-class player. He looks like a bit of a little god on the pitch, certainly when he comes on there. You know, and that's just sheer class and experience being used. Yeah. You know, he is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I have to say, we've seen so many great moments from, and I think it's if you're going to argue the Kenny and Gerrard thing, it's kind of like arguing Messi versus Maradona or anyone versus Pele. The fact of the matter is, Kenny will deservedly shade it because of the things that he won while he was at Liverpool, and the fact that he managed to do so much as a player manager as well, I think is obviously got to be counted into it. But as Chris said, just for the sheer, one-man teamedness of Gerrard, the fact that you could literally say he's got the Gerrard final, he's had an FA Cup final named after him, and you could easily name a Champions League final after him as well, to be honest, because in Istanbul he played in every position.
And that sort of transcended a normal footballer, that performance, didn't it? He wasn't just the captain on the field, he was one of the fans. He made every single fan do it, sing along and got them into it, and it was just unbelievable. He was more than a player that game, and he won us the Champions League.
Yeah. I think the thing about Kenny is that when he arrived, he was clearly the best player the club had ever had, by miles, and I think that has stuck with him for a long, long time. And the fact is, you know, we've had Gerrard since.
Gerrard's grown into it.
To some extent, Suarez is, you know, an absolute genius with the ball, and their arguments would be, you know, is he the best player we've had? And it's not about whether you're the best footballer, but your contribution as well. And that's where Gerrard stands out. To play for us for as long as he did, as long as he has done, you know, and as Chris said, with not necessarily great players around him, you know, and dragged us through to victory in lots of games.
Yeah, not many players. I mean, Kenny Dalglish didn't have to drag Liverpool through to titles, carrying Antonio Nunes, Hosmi, Jimmy Chore, etc., etc. So yeah, no, I think that's a great point. The big question is obviously, Chris, we're looking at Gerrard testimonial. You know, we're really looking at the beginning and the end, and it's sad to say, but I mean, how long do you reckon he can play for? How many seasons he got left in the tank?
I don't know. Looking at him, just going on this pre-season, and let's base it on last season as well. The fact that it was every minute of every game, I think he might have 4 or 5 years.
Really?
I really do think he might have that long in him. I'm not saying he's going to play 30 games a season for that time, but even now, he's been injured for how long? 3 months or something. He's been rehabilitating for. He comes in, he's not missed a beat.
Yeah.
He doesn't look tired. He doesn't look like he's stretching himself. He's just a professional athlete, and I think he's one of those new breeds of athlete that, like Ryan Giggs probably started it, he has looked after himself for his entire career, and that is now paying dividends at the end of his career.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I mean, there's the two schools of thought, and it's like Stan Collymore always said when he retired, he got, you know what I mean, he felt he could have gone back to it, whereas, because he didn't have any, he only had one major injury, I think he broke his leg, didn't he, was he at Bradford or something like that. But Steven Gerrard, he's been plagued with injuries, and that's my only concern with him, is that will that shave
He's been lucky this time in that his injury came right at the end of the season. So it's almost like he's just had a normal holiday followed by pre-season. Yeah. So if you get injured in the middle of the season, trying to pick up the pace when you come back is much more difficult. Yeah. So I think he's been a bit lucky there. But the way I see him now, I can't see why he shouldn't be at that level for at least 2 years. You know, 2 full seasons, and then even if he drops slightly from that level, he'll still be well worth a place in the side. Yeah, no, I think so too. But like I say, it depends how he's used. I don't want to see Gerrard play as many games this season as he played last season. For a start, because I think it's about time we started to figure out how to do it without him. But also, if I'd rather play Gerrard for 25 games. I'd rather get 2 25-game seasons out of him than 150. You know what I mean? If we're to use very basic sort of logic on it, like. Well, let's talk a little bit about the match. From what I've been told, I've been trying to get confirmation on this. This friendly's been shrouded in mystery.
I don't think the club know.
Nobody seems to know what is going on with this game. Now, I have asked the question, and at the time of filming, no one can give me a definitive answer, but apparently they're treating it as a proper friendly, as opposed to a traditional testimonial where it's ex-pro heaven, where you get to see Luis Garcia sticking them in the top bin, you get to have a little pantomime boo, Michael Owen.
John Bishop comes on.
Steven Gerrard gets a penalty in the last minute, etc., etc.
It should be a competitive friendly.
It should be a competitive friendly, and I think that's a good thing, because I think it would have been, if that's the case, that I think it could have been dangerous to not take it seriously at this stage of pre-season, to have a game that wasn't important.
Too right. I can't imagine the players would want it at this time of year anyway. If it was a silly friendly, especially Gerrard, like he's looking at it. Oh yeah, great. No one really wants a testimonial, and if you do, surely you'd have it as a bit of a before the curtain comes down at the end of the season. Yeah. So it is key that we continue to get our players fit. Yeah. You know, not everybody's had a lot of game time at the moment, and that should factor into the side.
Yeah, and this is, as they keep selling as well, this is the only pre-season friendly we're going to be playing at Anfield, Dad. So again, it's another thing. It's important that we go out there and put a performance in. I mean, last season we had the Leverkusen game, and we went out. It was a good solid win. We got to see some decent glimpses of what to expect, and of course you get the boost from obviously the Anfield crowd, and people get to see a win. It's
nice that we do have a game at home before the season starts. Now, for years and years we never did. They play in Norway and anywhere but at home. And so it's been. I think it was started under Rapid, and they're playing a few games at home. One before the.
Not always successfully.
No, not always successful. But at least you got to go down and see your team, and how they were doing. So I think it's a good thing, and I can't imagine they will play anything stupid. I think it is about getting fit still. It's one of the 3 games they've got left to get themselves in order. So I think if they're going to do any of the traditional things for a testimonial, it's going to come before, and it's going to be coming at half time and stuff. David Carrigan will come on and have a five-a-side with someone or something.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think otherwise it will be a straightforward match.
Yeah. Just on the off chance that it is actually an ex-pro fest. Can't wait to see. Can't wait to see.
Bruce Grobbelaar.
Yeah, Bruce Grobbelaar.
We don't need to get our players fit at this time of the season. Come on, we're going to have a lavish.
Gerrard's testimonial. It's a bit of fun. Get the crowd going. A bit of a fun day. You know, get all.
Penalties for Gerrard.
Yeah.
I hate all those things. I'd rather just go and watch a proper football than.
Yeah.
I remember once there was a testimonial. I can't even remember who it was now, and we played Celtic. And we put the reserves out and a few old pros, and we were 4-0 down at half time. Celtic don't play friendlies.
Yeah.
No, they changed the team in the second half and they ended up 4-0.
We went to see Grobbelaar's testimonial, didn't we? Yeah, well, I'd have been about 10 or something when that was 10 or 11. And that was another one of them. I don't remember anything other than they got Brucey a penalty and he missed it. And I don't know whether the guy shaved it because they had that blonde-haired keeper who was their perennial understudy to Neville Southall, and he clearly was having none of it. None of it. Yeah. Staking a claim, saving the testimonials. Band.
What are you doing, man? You just
let go in. Just look at him, just like just shaking head. What are you doing?
A true pantomime villain there, like that.
I don't remember much about it at all, but I seem to recall that I remember them selling beer.
Yeah,
match because it was during the time.
Is that perhaps why you don't remember any more about the game?
They stopped selling beer in football grounds for a while. And I have just feeling because it was a testimonial they were allowed to sell beer. But I could be wrong with that. Might be a false memory or whatever.
This is why you have no memory of this game. We just
drunk in charge of a 10-year-old.
Just got bladdered in the club more beforehand, and that's all. It's all a haze. A couple of things I have to mention. I'm going to do it down this camera. This is the level of organisation we've got these days. I've been told that Liverpool ladies are playing 7:30 at the Holland Stadium in Widnes. If you've got a ticket for the testimonial or you're a season ticket holder, you can go down and watch the game for free. So if you fancy, if you're over in Liverpool, if you come over to watch the testimonial and you fancy doing something else, go down and check the Liverpool ladies. I'm told the club have invested a lot of money.
They're playing with Barnes, and it looks like being the best side in the country.
Well, there you go. There's never been a better time or a better reason to go and check them out. Another thing, while you're here, we've got one last chance to win our Liverpool third kit competition. This is our last week. We're going to announce the winners after the Olympiacos game because we've got to draw on sometime. All I want you to do, if you want to win Liverpool's third kit, or the shirt I should say, simply tweet to @Redmen TV and give me a good old-fashioned compelling reason why you think you deserve it. I'd make it funny, make you laugh, make it stand out. A lot of them we've had in have been garbage, so pull your fingers out. I mean, I know most of you don't really want the kit, but if you do, make an effort and use #Redmen third kit comp. Dead simple. Okay, then quickly, we've overrun us slightly, but what? Let's just roll with it. I'm going to throw a lineup prediction out there, and then we'll see what you think of it. I basically think we're going to start with exactly the same team that started the Thailand game. So it's going to be Mignolet goal. It's so weird saying a different goalkeeper in goal. I haven't said one for 8 years. Enrique and Johnson's the full-backs. I think Aguirre and Torre centre-halves, and I think the midfield three is going to be Lucas, Allen, Gerrard, and then a front three of Coutinho, Aspas, and I think the only change we're going to make is actually I think we'll play Sterling. For anyone want a counterpoint to that?
I think I agree with the Sterling coming in. I also think they will have another look at Henderson in the midfield for Allen.
Yeah, I think that's a definite possibility. Yeah. Dad, any changes you'd make?
No, I think that's probably likely to be, unless he just switches it because he's done that before, hasn't he? And he plays the other 11 first,
yeah,
and the other lot second, because it's about getting people game time,
yeah,
and getting fit. So he may well just surprise us all. And
could be Anthony Wisdom. He might start this game if that's the case.
Yeah,
I
Downing hasn't had a game, for a bit, so maybe he needs a game. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm definitely fascinated. Let's have some score predictions, please. No, shh. I'll come to you when it's your turn.
I'm going to say 3-1.
Are you going to stick with 3-1, Chris? Okay.
Sulking Chris.
I'll go for. Let's go for Let's go for 3-0.
Gerrard screaming, lads.
We'd have had 3-3-1.
Gerrard screaming. Where's the they get Neil Mellor out of retirement just for one last game. What's Florence Cinema Pongal up to?
Probably not.
He's probably working at a car wash sort of by now, isn't he?
He's my W's.
Yeah. But in fairness, he might be working at a car wash, but he's probably got Tony Latala working for him. Okay, yeah.
Latala car wash company.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think Latala would be that high up. I think of the two of them, I think Pongal will have made the greatest success of his life, like he had done in professional football.
Do you think he's just on wheels, Latala? You just clean the tyres and it's fine.
I thought you meant on wheels.
Yeah, his job's just to empty the ashtrays. Right, okay. Let us know then your lineup predictions. How do you think Liverpool are going to line up for this game? Also, your score predictions, leave them in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to have to bid you adieu, I'm afraid. If you're watching this on the subscriber show, you can stay with us because we're boss like that. On tomorrow's show, if you go again for subscribers, we're going to be talking about Pepe's open letter to the fans. Obviously he's gone to Napoli, we know this now. It's provoked a little bit of a mixed reaction from Liverpool's fan base, so we're going to be discussing both sides of that. We're also going to be looking at this week's transfer links and talking about the Suarez body language expert, and we're also going to be doing the all-time worst Premier League 11.
Oh, it's a belter.
Oh yes. So do tune in for that. It's on the redmentv.com. It's free for a month, so do check it out. We've got loads of new content lined up for the new season, so all the extra stuff as well is going to be available to subscribers, so do check that out. Anyway, we're also going to be taking a week off. If you're going to be looking forward to us doing a pre-match build-up for Valerenga, unlucky. We're taking a break between this week and the start of the new season to get all prepared and all fired up and ready, and the launch of Redmen 4.0, which should be a little bit exciting, so do check back for that as well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the show this week. If you're subscribing, thank you very much. If you're on YouTube, at least click the free subscribe button, do us a fucking favour. And anyway, good night, thanks gents, and see you later. Ta.